Greetings. This is Ham Radio Test and Review. My name is Dave. My call sign is N8DAV, and the motto for my channel is one test is worth 1,000 expert opinions. Today, I'm going to go over how to test your antenna for SWR using an SureCom SW102 SWR power meter. Now, I've already put out a video on how to test power for your HT or for your radio using this same meter. Now I'm going to go through on how to set up and test for SWR and what all the different little things mean. However, I'm going to tell you this right now. I am not going to go into a discussion as to what SWR is. There is a great YouTuber. His name is The Smoking Ape. If you want to know what SWR is in great detail, I suggest you go out to his channel and subscribe to his channel and watch all his videos about what SWR is and what SWR isn't. He is a great YouTuber and he has good descriptions, and I really think the world of his channel, so I highly suggest you do that. But in this case, I'm just going to show you how to set up and what parts you need to get set up and how you're supposed to read your meter. So let's get to it. I'll be right back. All right, here we are. These are the parts and pieces that you need in order to test SWR on your antennas. First, you need a power SWR meter. This is the SureCom SW102. It has an input for transmit with an SO239 connector on that side, and then a side for the antenna connection with another SO239 connection on that side. Here I have the coax that goes out to my external antenna. It's a J-pole antenna about 25 feet up in the air, and we'll be doing testing on SWR on the 2 meter and 70 centimeter bands today using this SureCom SWR power meter. Also, you need a radio. I'm going to be using my BTEC UV Pro, and I need an adapter to adapt the SMA male connector on the radio to BNC female, so I can use this cable here to connect the PL259 connector here to the SWR meter, and then the BNC male connector here to the female that I just screwed on to the UV Pro. All right, so when we come back, I will show you how to put this all together and how to do the testing. Be right back. If you like my content, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. I would really appreciate it. And if you want to see more of my content, please click on the bell icon so you can get notifications of everything that I release. I would really appreciate it. Thank you very much for your consideration. All right, we're back. All right, so here's what I intend to do. I'm going to show you how to connect everything up, and then I'm going to show you how to do the testing. So here's how you do it. It's very basic stuff, very easy. First, you connect your antenna to the antenna side of the meter. Next thing you do is connect the PL267 connector. Oh boy, I'm doing terrible today. PL259 connector to the transmit side. Then, a longer cable than I usually use here. Then you connect the BNC connector, the other end of the cable, to the radio. And we then turn the SWR meter on. And I'm going to get you a different view, a better view, and we'll be right back. All right, in order to test SWR, I'm going to be transmitting through the meter into my antenna, and then we're going to read the SWR right here. This is going to be the number. It'll be 1 point whatever it's going to be, 00 or 10 or 10, 30, whatever it is. And it'll show up here in large numbers, all right? As well as we're going to have some power and the frequency I'm transmitting on, and some other numbers up here, which I covered in my previous video on how to test the power of an HT. All right, so when I come back, I'll be ready and set up, and we'll test for SWR. First frequency I'm going to test on is in the 2 meter band. It's 146.520, and I'm going to be testing that into my antenna, and that will show up as an SWR right across here. Now, SWR is stated as whatever the first number is, which will show up on the meter, to 1. It's a ratio, so whatever that number is to 1. It could be 1 to 1, it could be 2 to 1, it could be 3 to 1. All right, so let's do the test right now. Let me transmit, and we get an SWR of 1.00 to 1. That's very good for an antenna. All right, I'll be right back. All right, next up, I'm going to be testing on the 70 centimeter band, and let's see how the SWR looks on this antenna. Like I said, it's a J-pole antenna, 25 feet up in the air. It's an OSJ antenna, if you want to look up what OS for the J-pole antenna stands for. And so let's take a look. What is it going to be? Let's see. Oh, I get an SWR of 1.09 to 1. That's very, very good, by the way. Very, very happy with those results. Be right back. All right, so I'm going to throw a little monkey wrench into the works here, and I'm going to transmit on a frequency and a band that the antenna is not designed for. So the antenna is designed for 2 meter and 70 centimeter, but I'm going to transmit on the 1.25 meter band, and let's see what kind of an SWR I get on that. And on the 223.500, I got an excellent SWR. Look at that, 1.01 to 1. Very good. I thought it was going to be worse than that. So that just goes to show you, one test is worth 1,000 expert opinions. I'll be right back. And let's see what happens when I transmit on channel 16 of the GMRS band. We also get a good SWR of 1.0 to 1. Very good. And let's see what happens when we transmit on channel 1 of the MERS band. Get an SWR of 1.00. This is a very good antenna. All right, so after I've disconnected my outside antenna, I'm going to connect to my HT antenna test bed. I'm connecting up the BNC connector there. And let's see what a signal stick looks like testing on my test bed. Now, I don't have my test bed adjusted yet, so I have no idea what the SWR is going to be, but on the 146.52 megahertz band, and we get a 56 SWR on the 2 meter band. Let's try this on the 70 centimeter band and see what we get. And we get an SWR of 1.00. All right, very good. So you can see that on this particular test bed, the way I have it adjusted, we get an SWR of 1.5 or 6 on the signal stick on 2 meter, and then 1.00 on 70 centimeter. So it just shows that I've got to adjust my test bed if I want to get the signal stick down to 1.00. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I've done some adjusting on my HT test bed. Let's see if I've done a good job of getting the SWR down. And yes, I've gotten the SWR down to 1.1316. Well, 13. All right, there we go. So you can see that you can use the SWR meter to adjust your antennas to get better, or worse in this case, but better, SWR. All right, I'll be right back. So what did we learn today using the SureCom SW102 power SWR meter as far as SWR is concerned? Well, what we found out was that my base antenna does very well on the 2 meter band, does very well on the 1.25 meter band, and does pretty good, not quite as good, on the 70 centimeter band. But then it gets better back up on the GMRS band and on the MERS band. That was really good. That's very interesting. I mean, I've done these tests before, but it's been so long ago, I don't remember all the results of all the testing I've done. But then we put an HT antenna to the test. And as you saw, the signal stuff signal stick did very good on the 70 centimeter band. And by the way, it also does great on the GMRS band. And then I put it on the 2 meter band, and we got a little bit worse SWR. Now, not bad in any way, shape, form, or manner, but as you saw, I'm able to adjust my test bed to get the SWR down on the signal stuff signal stick as well. So this is what an SWR meter is good for. It's good for testing. It's good for trial and error. It's good for learning how to tune your antennas. This is the kind of thing that when you get into HF, if you are into HF, are not into HF already, and you start making your own antennas, you're going to need to learn how to read your SWR and how to lengthen or shorten your antenna accordingly, and how to make adjustments on all your antennas. So listen, to me, this is a great learning process for you. So anyway, this was a how-to video on how to use a power SWR meter to measure SWR on a couple of different antennas. So on many different frequencies. All right. And my name is Dave, and I'm the owner of Ham Radio Test and Review. My call sign's N8DAV, and of course, one test is worth 1,000 expert opinions. Can't argue with it. All right. My name is, and I'm saying 73, and so long.